with your help and my help.
That's right.
Together, 2 intellects, we figured it out.
Might be 1 intellect.
Hey, I can think for myself.
No, I'm talking about you.
Oh, yeah, right. All right, we have a brand new adventure today. I'm again with Southern Captain Billy, and we're getting kind of a late start detecting, but we've actually been out scouting the area, looking at different things. But we're going to detect this home site, which you've detected before a few other times, and that's a few people. And there's these chimney pile, you say, some bunch of bricks. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of search around, try to find a couple things. We'll check out the chimney pile, maybe dig a few holes, see if we can get find a pit that we can come back and dig out. Maybe like tomorrow morning when it's, you know, sun's not quite as hot. Oh, it's not that bad today, or maybe even this evening. But we're going to surface on for a while. I'm feeling really good about it. There's tons of oyster shells out there, tons of iron. And I just feel really lucky today. You feel lucky today?
Yeah, we're going to find the gold coin to go with that real.
There you go. Gold coin. Big one.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So I have my first target. We're going to dig it together, but I want to show you something first. First, Billy's still getting ready. Because I'm all excited, so I'm out here. I picked this up off the surface of the ground just about a minute ago. So that's some type of little ceramic deal, might be a teacup or something like that, which is pretty cool. Billy collects those, so I'll say that. But I just wanted to show you the oyster shells. This is an indication of human habitation. Could be Indian or could be European American. This is probably European American because it's right next to the house. There's a house right over there. Show you how I have this thing set up today using the Garrett AT Max 0 program, 0 discrimination. Got about 3 bars on the battery, so that looks good. Maximum sensitivity, always ground balance if you can. There's a lot of iron in here. And this is what it sounds like in here. I just want you to listen to it for just a second. All these little grunts, that's iron. So we're listening for a squeak. All little pieces of iron. But over here, there is a squeak. Because I already heard it. And I think Captain Billy's standing on it. Maybe. It's like right in here. Okay, so we got something there. Not a high squeaker. That could be a little button, piece of lead, something like that. I'm just going to use my foot, see if we can get it moved. I like to get it moved before I get the shovel out. All right, so still buried. Let's just dig that together. What do you think it is, Billy?
I think it's a button.
Yes, sounds fairly small. I should have gotten it. But it didn't. Root. It's hard to dig with one hand, at least for me. There we go. All right. That's not doing a very good job, am I? I'm gonna have to set you guys down if we can get it. All right, we got it. Okay, should be right about there. And we should be able to find it now that we can use both hands. Is it there? No. There? No. All right, it's in here. Not that one. Man, it's tiny. Find any percussion caps out here?
Not at this location.
Really small. There it is. Little tiny piece of like a buckshot or something out of a shotgun. Could be old, could be new. It's hard to say, but it's definitely fired. I don't think you fired that one, Billy.
No, I didn't.
But that's what we were hearing. So I've had the opportunity to kind of look around a little bit, and I can tell you this right now. There's a huge amount of iron in the ground here, like little nails and hinges and stuff, but very little non-ferrous items. So that tells me that this place has been metal detected a lot in the past. Now, Billy's only been coming here for about a year or so, and he's been here probably 5 or 6 times, I think he said. But he said it was dug before he came here. You could tell because people had piled up the iron against the trees and stuff. So let me just show you around real quick, because I have a feeling I'm going to be starting to search some of the surrounding areas right here and get out of this main artifact area, because there's very few squeakers. I do want to show you a couple of things. It's a cool piece of ceramic right here. Really pretty. This is a chimney stack right here, so this was a substantial place. This stuff here looks like concrete. That's what they call tabby, which is, well, it's kind of like concrete, but it's made with oyster shells and other stuff. I'm not exactly sure which. It's, you know, it's not real strong, but it was strong enough, I guess, to hold these bricks and stuff together. And you know, they would make buildings out of that too. Lots of bricks over here. This is right where the chimney stack was. It's all collapsed over. You can tell these are old handmade bricks. Very crude lines through them and stuff like that. So very crude bricks, handmade. Here's some stuff that hinges. This is a big hinge that was here, part of a grubbing hoe. So that was probably found, that could have been found 10 years ago and pitched up on this pile. Same way with this thing here. That's what diggers did. That actually looks like a more modern piece of plow. So that's one way, you know, you can tell this place has been dug before by this stuff on the surface. Beautiful bricks though. I mean, nice old things. I always like to look on them because sometimes you get an animal track. I had a friend that found one, had a perfect cat print on it. Because of course the animals, cats and dogs and stuff, you know, they'd walk across the wet bricks sometimes when they're drying. So I always like to look for those. Lots of oyster shells. You know, you can see how some of these bricks are still almost, you know, still stuck together. That tells me we're right where the chimney fell over and it hasn't been plowed. Not much else. I mean, just tons of iron, just hardly any squeakers. And if, you know, if we're hearing like buckshot and stuff like that, we'd absolutely hear the buttons if they were in here too. Those are targets either people couldn't hear before or were just passed over because they knew they were too small to be, you know, a big old silver coin. Thought I'd get y'all for this. This is a really deep hole. It's probably a big piece of iron. But we'll go ahead and dig it together since we're not really, just still down there ways, since we're not really finding too much else. And this could be a cannonball, could be almost anything, could be a grubbing hoe. I'm hoping for like a cannonball or musket barrel or something like that. Haven't seen any rust yet though. Got some oyster shells. There we go, here's scrape. Hope for something interesting. Definitely on a layer of shells and it's quite deep, so it could be a nice big ball. All right. Let's go ahead and see if it's still in there. Yep. All right, still in the hole. Hopefully we can pry it out now. Probably a grubbing hoe. Or a chest full of gold coins. There we go, it's moving a little bit. Come on, baby. The iron down here can be really shaky because it's very close to salt water. So it's hard to preserve. All right, you ready? Here it comes. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's actually part of a shovel. This would have been an old-timey shovel. You know, could be from the 1700s. Would have had a welded piece on here with a handle coming up. This was the blade coming down. It would have been a square shovel. So that's pretty cool, actually. I mean, I'm not going to save it. It shows us that the artifact layer is really deep because it was in the bottom of the hole. And you can see there's oyster shells and stuff in here too. So I'll check the hole, make sure there's not a whole bunch of good stuff in there like brown bess muskets. But I suspect there isn't. All right, let's get back to work. Well, this is definitely turning out to be a tough spot to dig. I'm just kind of making a loop around the edges, mostly just digging, you know, some of the big iron targets. This beautiful little hinge here, you can see its end's no good though. That's a hand forged hinge. Nice little find right here. This is made out of brass, somewhat ornate. Not exactly sure what it is. You know, could be. I almost want to think it's like part of a handle or something you turn. You know, it's probably broken. It's broken off right there. I can't imagine that's a fork or eating utensil, but it could very well be. I'm just not familiar with that design. But it's a nice solid piece of brass. On that little brassy thing right over in there somewhere. And there's the truck and the home site's over there. Do you see any treasure out here somewhere? Well, some of us would consider it treasure. You may not. Do you see it? It's two of them, which is somewhat unusual. Looky there. Two nice sheds. Beauty. And one here too. So he lost them at the same time, which I don't know how unusual that is, but that's a nice set right there. Not a pocket full of buttons, but at least it's something to say we're successful at least finding bone. That looks like a little hobbit or some type of little creature might live in there, doesn't it? Like a golem, maybe. Isn't that cool? So what we have here is a tree, stump, and that hole is where the bark, not the bark, but the inside of the tree has rotted away and it's left a cavity in the soil. So when that thing completely rots away, there'll actually be a hole going down there. And if the ground is tight enough, now this is sand, so it probably won't happen, but if the ground is tight enough, that hole will actually like go straight down, it will look like someone took a post hole digger and dug a hole in the middle of the woods for no reason. I see that a lot, especially with pine trees back where I live. But I just think that's pretty cool, and a little critter could probably find some dryness down there on a rainy night when he's not out scavenging for things. This is a cool little find. This is a brass spike. And these would have been used in ships. Because they use brass because it doesn't rust. So shipbuilding stuff, you find a lot of things like this along the coast where there would be, wharfs and ports and harbors and stuff like that. But that's a good sign right there. That was a screamer. Could easily been 3 stacked large cents, but it wasn't. I haven't really been showing you these kind of targets, but this is a base to a shotgun shell. It's a brass base. I've been up, this is probably 6 or 7 that I found today. I'm not going to show you every time I dig one of these, but I did want to show you that these are out here, so there are signals that could possibly be a good button. A nice big signal here. I think I know it's iron, but I wanted to dig it up and see if it was a hoe or a cannonball. There comes Billy. Ah, sure enough, his old grubbing hoe. Woo-wee, I was down a ways. Look how got the cancer. When you see stuff like that on the iron, that means that it'll be almost impossible to preserve it. This would undoubtedly have been used by a slave pre-Civil War, and they spent their life working it. So Billy made it back, and he found a bunch of iron up against a tree, including this thing. I'm going to solve a mystery for you right now. Remember we were talking about something this morning, we were looking at it, saying, what are those things? We find them little brassy things with a screw hole.
Oh,
you remember?
You figured it out.
Yeah, we talked about it for like half an hour trying to figure out what they were. Guess what? There's one right there. Looky. Right here.
Yep, there's one there, and then the other ones I've been finding like that one right there.
Okay, yeah.
That one's actually iron, but I found them like that brass.
Yeah, but that's the exact piece that you had in your truck.
For. I find them all over the place.
Yeah, me too. I've seen them, and I just had no idea what they were. But that's like off a Haynes. I guess it was a Haynes or Rain Guides or something. Haynes or Rain Guides, but that's what it is.
Aha moment.
That's an aha moment. Awesome, dude.
That was Oak Island reference, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was an aha moment.
Aha moment. Aha! Okay, we'll have our own. Eureka! Yeah. We have figured it out. Eureka, that's better.
And it solves mysteries of screws too, because I find those screws. I've always wondered what they went to.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. We figured it out. Woohoo! With your help and my help, right. Together, 2 intellects, we figured it out.
Might be 1 intellect.
Hey, I can think for myself.
No, I'm talking about you.
Oh, yeah, right. All right, got another one of those nice big brass spikes. Again, that would be in shipbuilding, salt water type stuff. That's a beauty right there. Nice little signal out of the hole, and I think it's going to be a button. Hopefully it's not a shotgun shell. See a little nub right there. Definitely not a coin. Could be an 1812 or 1812 button. Or a flat button. Billy, moving closer. So you're moving closer. Start talking War of 1812 buttons. I think it's just a flat button, actually. Give it a quick little rub. What do you think? I'm telling you, let me clean that off a little bit, and I want to take a closer look at that one. That's kind of suspicious looking, isn't it? It's like an eagle holding a pitchfork. Okay, it is flat as flat can be, but at least it's a button. So I got a nice little signal right there, and I dug it up, but it's in my hand. I haven't looked at it too close, but I think it might be a coin. Oh, dude. That's a coin. That's like a 1793. Look how thick that baby is. but it's probably just a slug. How thick that thing is, man. Yeah, I don't think it's a coin, but boy, I tell you, that's a heck of a... It's probably lead, actually. Let's listen to it. Yeah, it's lead. That's pretty cool, though, huh? Like an old poker chip. Game piece. We have what I think is the nicest signal of the day, right in that spot I just cleared out. Not too big. Mid-80s. Very, very possible it could be a piece of silver. Not sure how deep. Let's get the young. Let me just set you up real quick. We'll get the pinpointer out first. Hopefully it's not. Yeah, see. It's the only problem when you can't hear the pinpointer. It could be deep, really deep, and if it's really deep, it could be something not as good as you hope. But that just had that sweet sound. It doesn't sound real big. You know, it doesn't sound like it takes up a big area. So I'm kind of hoping it's a little silver coin. All right, so let's run the machine over it. Still in the hole. Come on. The deeper it gets, the more nervous I get that it's just a... All right, so we're getting almost to it. Huh? No! We moved it. Lucky! All right, I have to move you a little bit, but I think that's it. That's weird. That's got to be a coin or something like that. All right, so whatever it is right here. Let's see what it is. Really? Oh, dude.
Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is or what it might be. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere.